Hi, I'm Amanda and welcome to DIY with Amanda. I am a mechanical engineer by day, and in my spare time I like to do triathlons and DIY. Let's get started with the anatomy of a bicycle. We're going to start up here because to me this is one of the most important parts. You're going to spend a lot of time in the aero position with a triathlon bike. So you have your aero bars. And I happen to have electronic shifters on this bike. We'll get into more types of shifters in another video. But I shift here. These are your aero bars. These are your armrests, handlebars, and brakes. And on this bike, and most bikes with electronic shifters, you also have shifters here for when you're not in the aero position. Right here we have your stem. This little piece right in here is your headset, your fork, your wheel, tire, spokes. This is your quick release. You have it on both the front and back of your bike, and you just pop this, and I'm not going to take it off, but you turn it, and that will help you get your wheel off. On this bike, I happen to have a bento box, and this is where I keep a few of my tools, but also nutrition and anything else I might need on a training ride or during a race. This is the frame of the bike, and as you can see, this is all one piece. This is your top tube. This is your down tube. This is your seat tube, and this is your seat stay. And this is your chain stay. And an easy way to remember is your chain runs along this. On the seat tube, this is right underneath your seat. And the seat stay leads up to the seat. And some bikes don't actually have this because their geometry is a little bit different, but most bikes do look like this. So I happen to have a water bottle cage on here. Most people know what that is, but just in case. This is your chain ring. And you can see the smaller one in here and the larger one out here. And this is your valve right here. And you have one for each wheel. Some people have covers, but I tend to leave mine off because in a racing situation I want to be able to air up my tire more quickly and not have another part to worry about. We have the seat tube, your saddle, another style of water bottle holder. And we're going to go down. Here's your brake, your rear wheel and rear tire. And right here, this little guy, very important, this is your cassette. And they've recently come out with 11 speed, which really helps you get another gear whether you're going uphill or on a long flat. My old bike has a 10 back here, and this one's an 11. This is your rear derailleur. We'll get into more about that in another video. Your chain. This is your crank. This is your front derailleur. Pedals. And since I forgot it earlier, here's your front brake. This is my road bike. There's a few differences between my triathlon bike and my road bike. The most noticeable difference is I don't have aero bars on this bike. I tend to use this if I'm climbing a lot of hills where I wouldn't be in the aero position, or because of safety if I'm riding in a large group. It's easier to access your brakes. So these are the handlebars, and these are drop bars. You can more easily see my handlebar tape on here, but it has the same basic parts up here. Here's your stem, the headset, fork, frame, and with the frame geometry, there's actually a few bike manufacturers where their frames are different. Ventum is one that comes to mind. Diamond and Cervelo just came out with a bike where they're actually completely lacking the seat tube, seat stay, and chain stay. On this bike, you can see I have mechanical shifters. It's hard to shift when you're just standing here, but you can see that they're mechanical instead of just a button. And as you come back here, you can see that it's wired because my rear derailleur and my front derailleur are also mechanical. And if you look closely, you can see that this cassette looks smaller than the one on my triathlon bike, and that's because it's only 10 instead of 11. Then this is my mountain bike. You can see it's been very loved. So another huge difference in comparison to the triathlon bike and the road bike, you can see these handlebars are much different. They're much wider, so you're more stable. And these again are mechanical brakes. On this bike, we have shocks. And if you look closely down here, and let me turn this so you can see, on this bike, I actually have disc brakes. And this really helps stopping and going down a hill and some of those hairy parts on the trail. I feel much safer and more comfortable having my disc brakes on my mountain bike. If you come back here, we also have a shock here. And on this bike, I don't have pedals, just for my own safety. I tried it, and it works for me much better with regular pedals that have these little studs on them, so I have a better grip. And like we talked about before with the chain ring, if you look closely on this chain ring, I actually have 3 options. And that really helps you when you have a lot of hills that you have to go up, because you can really get into that lower gear and just spin right up some parts of the trail. You can see here's the disc brake on the rear as well. Well, thanks for watching. I hope I helped you learn something today, whether it was about a road bike, triathlon bike, or a mountain bike. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see others on some of your chain rings, or how to clean or disassemble or assemble a bicycle, those should be coming soon. Go ahead and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Have a wonderful day.